It's the NFL offseason, that strange stretch where questions hang in the air and speculation fills the void. For the Dallas Cowboys, there's plenty we still don't know about what this team will look like when it takes the field again. But one thing's absolutely clear. Left tackle Tyler Guyton is locked in. After a rocky rookie campaign, Guyton isn't running from the criticism. He's facing it head on. He knows last season wasn't good enough, and instead of making excuses, he's made a decision. This year, he's going to be better, period. Here's where things get really interesting. According to Nick Harris, Guyton has been spending time one-on-one with Cowboys legend Tyron Smith this offseason. That's right, the same Tyron Smith who set the gold standard for what it means to be a dominant force on the offensive line. Now let's pause and appreciate that for a second. A future Hall of Famer is taking a young, hungry lineman under his wing. That matters. That's how dynasties are built. And yes, Smith might look a little leaner than in his prime, but the man still looks like he could strap up and play tomorrow. As for Guyton, he's still physically developing. He's shedding weight, trimming body fat, and dialing in his conditioning. He's not just lifting weights, he's changing habits. No more junk food. No more comfort meals. The fast food's out. The discipline is in. It's not just about technique anymore. It's about accountability. Guyton isn't pretending his rookie season was good. It wasn't, but it also wasn't a disaster. The biggest issue? His body wasn't ready for the grind of a full NFL season. Now he knows it. Now he's doing something about it. And that's what separates the players who fade from the ones who fight. Because when a young lineman takes the offseason this seriously, when he's learning from one of the greatest to ever do it, that's not just development. That's transformation. The fire's lit. Let's see where it takes him. Instead of following the crowd and heading to the usual off-season training camps, Tyler Guyton made a bold decision. A smart one. He sought out Tyron Smith, a man who's not just part of the Cowboys' legacy, but one of the greatest left tackles of his era. And here's the key difference. Tyron never had that luxury. When Smith was rising through the league, there wasn't a future Hall of Famer on standby to guide him through the trenches. He had to figure things out the hard way, through pain, through reps, through trial and error. Now Guyton gets to benefit from the blueprint Tyron had to build on his own. That's a gift. And Guyton isn't wasting it. This isn't just about spending time with a former pro. It's about getting elite, personalized mentorship from someone who knows exactly what it takes to dominate at the same position, in the same building, with the same expectations. Look, Tyler Guyton already has the raw tools, the size, the reach, the movement. That's not in question. Physically, he can be more than just a serviceable starter. He has the ceiling to be a Pro Bowl caliber left tackle, the kind who anchors a line, earns respect, and becomes a cornerstone for years. But talent only takes you so far. What separates the good from the great is the ability to refine the details. The hand placement, the footwork, the split-second decisions when a speed rusher turns into a bull. That's where the game is won or lost, and that's where Tyron Smith comes in. He may not be holding a playbook or calling the protections anymore, but Tyron has spent over a decade executing at the highest level. He's seen every scheme. He's battled the best edge rushers this league has ever produced. He knows what works, and more importantly, what doesn't. This isn't about X's and O's. This is about survival in the trenches, and Guyton is learning from a master. So credit where it's due. Tyler Guyton didn't duck from criticism. He stood up, admitted he had work to do, and then actually went to work. He's not hiding. He's not deflecting. He's evolving. And that kind of honesty, that kind of accountability is exactly what this locker room needs. He's not just saying the right things. He's doing them. And for a young player in Dallas, where the pressure never lets up and the spotlight never dims, that's the kind of mindset that changes careers. Tyler Guyton. This offseason is your moment. Salute to the effort, to the commitment, to the grind. You've made visible progress. You're doing the work. You're training with veterans, learning from greatness, reshaping your body, and trying to grow into the player this team desperately needs. But here's the truth, and you know it. It can't stop here. This can't just be about effort. It has to translate. Because when week 1 rolls around, no one's going to care about Instagram photos or workout videos. They're going to care about whether you look like the guy who put in that off-season work or just another player who couldn't take the next step. We've seen glimpses. You're leaner now. The baby fat's shedding. You've tightened up the midsection. The transformation is real, but incomplete, and that's okay. You're still young. But in the NFL, growth has a clock, and that clock doesn't stop ticking. The question becomes, does Tyler Guyton have more than just the frame of an NFL tackle? Does he have the fire, the strength, the polish to go toe-to-toe with elite edge rushers and hold the line when it counts? Because that's what this position demands. It's not enough to look the part. You've got to be the part. You've got to anchor. You've got to punch. You've got to finish. Right now, you're in year 2. The turning point for so many offensive linemen. This is when the game slows down. This is when the body catches up with the league's demands. This is when rookies become professionals or get left behind. What we've seen so far, it's encouraging. You're heading in the right direction. And if that trajectory holds, if this is just the start, then Cowboys fans have every reason to believe this offensive line is about to dominate once again. But if not, if the results don't match the work, then the conversation changes. Because this isn't college anymore. In the NFL, potential has an expiration date, and you either rise or you get replaced. So here's to the challenge. Here's to the pressure. Here's to the expectation of greatness. Tyler Guyton, it's time to show the league what you've been building behind the scenes. Not just with words, not just with pictures, but on the field, when it matters most. There's something quietly building in Dallas this offseason, and it's not just about individual workouts. It's about team chemistry, about players investing in each other, showing up for one another, and forming the kind of bond that championship rosters are built on. We've seen it at training camps. We've seen it in player-run events. This isn't just talk. These guys are working together. Take Mazi Smith, for example. His physical transformation is turning heads. The arms, massive. The power, undeniable. Right now, he looks like a man who could move a wall if he had to. But the key question remains. Can he evolve into the true anchor this defense needs at the nose tackle spot? That role demands more than raw strength. It demands size, leverage, endurance, and a mindset built for trench warfare. And the jury's still out. The potential is real, but the challenge is massive, literally and figuratively. And as this team shapes its defensive identity, what Mazi becomes could dictate just how physical this front seven turns out to be. And it's not just about individual potential. It's about what we've seen from this Cowboys locker room as a whole, guys showing up to camps together, backing one another in their off-season work, and staying connected when it's easiest to drift apart. That's rare, and it matters. This unity doesn't guarantee wins, but it lays the foundation. And when the season starts, when the lights are on, when the margin for error is razor thin, this chemistry could be the difference between heartbreak and breakthrough. But let's be clear, all of this only matters if it shows up on Sundays. Because once kickoff comes, the talking stops. The storylines stop. The workouts and film sessions and interviews fade into the background. And all that's left is execution. So here's hoping this off-season grind, this bond, this commitment, all of it translates into something real. Because if it doesn't, then it was just noise, just content, just off-season chatter. But if it does, then this team might be on the verge of something special. Because when unity, preparation, and talent collide, that's when teams make noise in January.